Hey y'all, it's Lacey, and today I'm doing the Choose the Year tag. This was created by Mel at Mel's Bookland Adventures, and I was tagged by Shaun the Book Maniac. So the premise of this tag is to choose a year, and then I'll put a link down below to Goodreads, where you can go and look at all the books that were published in a certain year. So the first prompt is to choose a year and say why. So the year that I picked was 1977, which was my birth year. All right, number two is, I've got my notes down here, so that's why I'm looking down, is which books published in that year have you read, and if none, have you at least heard of? So the ones that I have read are The Shining by Stephen King, which I didn't really like. The Amityville Horror by Jay Anson, which scared the crap out of me when I did read it when I was really young, and then later found out that none of it was true. A Judgment in Stone by Ruth Rendell. I hated that book, it was terrible. And The Pinballs by Betsy Byers, which I think I read in middle school because it was on a Battle of the Books list. Number three is, are there any books in that year that sound interesting, and would you read them now? I don't think there were a lot of good books that came out in that year. After I picked this year, and got into it, I kind of wished I had picked a different year, but I was too far into it, so I was like, I was just going to go with it. It just 1977 just didn't seem like a very good year for literature, in my opinion. Maybe somebody else has a different opinion, I don't know. But the only book that I saw on the list that I was interested in reading is one that I actually bought not too long ago, and that's The Thornbirds. So hopefully I'll get around to reading this one day. And also, I'll link her channel down below, but I think her name is Anne over at Book Your Imagination. She's done, I think, 3 videos where she's gone through a decade. She's done the 90s, 80s, and 70s so far, and she goes through the entire decade and tells you the top 5 books for each year in that decade, which they're really interesting videos. I've watched them and gotten a lot of books that I think I might want to read, but it's really interesting to see what was like the number 1 through 5 best-selling book of whatever year in that decade. I think The Thornbirds was one of the top-selling books in 1977. I think, if I remember correctly from watching her video. Okay, number 4 is the most obscure sounding book, and that was the one that I found. It is the Moosewood Cookbook, Recipes from Moosewood Restaurant, Ithaca, New York, by Molly Katzen. It looks like it's some sort of cookbook. It actually looks like it's got pretty high ratings on Goodreads. Don't know what it's about, but I mean, obviously it's a cookbook, but I don't know what kind of recipes it has in it. But yeah, I guess that came out in 1977. And then number 5 is the Strangest book cover. And for that one, I picked, it's kind of hard to pronounce, but it's the Necronomicon by H.R. Geiger. I'm not sure, I think it's just a book of maybe artist drawings, like his drawings. And I'm not sure if this is the original cover or not. I couldn't really find anything but this cover, so I'm not sure if this cover is from a later edition of this book. And when I saw it, I was like, the name sounds really familiar, and that when I looked it up, H.R. Geiger did a lot of conceptual designs for the Alien movie, which the Alien movie is like one of my favorite scary movies of all time, and that the xenomorph in that movie is like the scariest movie monster to me ever. So yeah, I realized that's why his name sounded familiar when I saw that book. And as you can see by the book cover, it's pretty frightening. So anyway, it's a short tag. Those are the 5 prompts. I'm not sure who I'm going to tag, so I didn't get that far. I wasn't that prepared. So I'll put a list in the description below, and I'll link the original video. I'll link Shaun the Book Maniac's channel as well, and list the prompts. So that's it for this tag. It's really short. I think I might choose a different year and maybe redo this. I don't know. It might be fun to just pick different years that, you know, maybe were special in your life. Like, I was watching Juan, the Bookish Islander, and he picked the year that he was 10 years old. So that might be something that I could do, you know, to do another version of this video, to see what other kind of books were popular or published in different years of my life. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I've got a list of other videos I need to get to, so we'll see if that happens. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Like, subscribe, and say hi in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.